Hey everyone, I just wanted to pop in and share a little bit of what happened the last couple of days. I will be blogging about it later, so if you are somebody who prefers it in writing, it will be coming. But probably later tonight, early tomorrow. Okay, I try to be honest, including about my shortcomings, so I'm going to explain yesterday. Yesterday, it started out well. Daniel was counting, he was, sorting, he was able to recognize a lot of things. He was doing great. It started out with Elijah doing his reading and focusing on his schoolwork. Everything was going so wonderful. Annika was off doing her schoolwork. Everything was just moving along so beautifully. And then there was a shift. All of a sudden, Elijah had a hard time focusing. He was trying to do his math, and it was basically there were 4 questions. Basically reviews, things he already knows how to do, things he's been doing for 2 years, so he knows how to do them. But for whatever reason, it was like something clicked, and he was no longer able to focus, and so he was getting frustrated because he was trying to make it into something it wasn't, trying to complicate it, trying to do it a way that he knows he's not supposed to do, and because of his rigidity and his own cognitive issues, he wasn't able to hear me, right? So he's frustrated, goes back and forth with yelling, struggling to, do anything. It took an hour and a half to get him through 3 problems. And again, just review, okay? Annika was working on her language arts. And she was getting frustrated because she didn't understand. She could not figure out. She was supposed to pick a verse. In her language arts program, she was given a selection out of, I think, 6 verses that she was told to pick one from. And she was supposed to do a kind of like a story map out of it and break down what it means to her, how to paraphrase it, how to explain it, what the main point is, and she's supposed to build a paper off of this. And the verse that she picked out at first, she was struggling too much with it. So I was like, okay, so we need to break down. But she was getting so stuck on not understanding the instructions. And for me, I'm going, and so I'm trying, and I've noticed in the past, we have a hard time, she and I, clicking on the language arts section, because for me, I'm going, well, the instructions are fairly straightforward, but for her, it's not that simple. She can't, and part of it is she's very literal. When she reads something, it's literal. So with this, she was having a hard time because she's going, well, I don't understand. And I'm going, I don't know how else to explain it. I don't know, and, she's very creative. She loves creative writing, but it's like the part with reading, with that creative, with looking at like an allegory or some, anything like that, she struggles. She had a very hard time personifying inanimate objects or animals or things like that, which was an assignment a couple weeks ago. She struggled with that because her mind has a hard time doing the outside of the box thinking when it's reading and absorbing information. And so I know for me, I'm going, okay, I know my limits. I don't know how to help get this to click. So I'm struggling with Elijah, who's, been yelling and frustrated for, because he wants to do the equation his way. And I'm going, but you're not going to get the answer that way. And he's saying, and just, oh my goodness. Hour and a half for 3 questions that he knows how to do. As soon as he calmed down enough to do it, breeze through it. 4th run, no problem. Easy peasy. We got that done in like 2 minutes. And that one was more complicated because that involved multiplication. It was still something he knew how to do, though. So that's why it took all 2 minutes, right? Actually, the final one was multiplication and addition. So that really tells you. Yeah, it was. Okay, so he's frustrated, so I'm getting frustrated with him. Annika's frustrated. Well, I wasn't getting frustrated with him. I was getting frustrated with this situation. Well, not with him. I was getting a little frustrated because he was yelling at me, right? And saying, no, you're wrong, mommy. I was getting frustrated with him. But also with the situation of here, and then with Annika, I'm getting frustrated, not with her, but it's like, I'm going, I don't get it. I don't know, and I'm stuck in a loop now because I'm going, I don't know how else to explain this. I don't know how to help you understand. And for me, I'm like, I'm struggling because I love writing. I love reading. I love language arts. I love it. Okay. So I'm struggling here. Right. And so I'm getting frustrated more. And then I've got Daniel, who now he's so busy and he's figured out how to open the gate to let the dogs out of the kitchen, but he doesn't want them jumping on him because they basically could knock him over, right? And so I'm going, oh no, so Daniel's coming and he's like letting the dogs out and he's getting into mischief. He's trying to, it's crazy, right? And I'm trying to get lunch cooked while Daniel's running into the kitchen right with the stove, and his spatial awareness is not exactly spot on and he's struggling. Okay, so all this is going on at this time, and so my frustration, and if any of you are familiar with the whole flip my lid thing, you've got the different things, and as frustrations mount, it exposes your amygdala, and that's when you have a meltdown, and I can feel I'm getting close, and I'm maintaining, I'm not blowing up much, other than the whole, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to help you, and I'm clearly frustrated, but not lashing out, right? And I know that's God, because I had the chance, to start my morning off with my Bible reading, with doing some, spending some time in the Bible and prayer and coffee. Not enough coffee. There's never enough coffee after a day like that, right? Annika and I spent hours trying to get through the language arts thing, and finally I ended up saying, after we just moved on. I said, okay, we got to be done with this. This is too much. We got to take a break. And so she starts crying because here she's so frustrated. She can tell I'm getting frustrated. And, then Daniel's therapist, I'm so grateful for Daniel's therapist. I really am, because she so much understands. She understands all this. And she was homeschooled, and she has different ways of looking at things, right? She has more of an out-of-the-box type of mindset. And she also, she knows how to use humor to diffuse the situation. And so as she's leaving, oh yes, Rita, Daniel's therapist comes every day, Monday through Friday, unless we have to cancel, like tomorrow we have a dentist appointment. But yes, every day for 3 hours, and she's a godsend. And so as she's leaving, she just goes, "Happy Tuesday." And I'm going, yeah. And it gave me a chance to laugh and just kind of let some steam out, right? Because I'd really rather laugh than cry. And after she leaves, I can tell Annika's still crying, and I'm going, I'm really sorry. I know this is really hard. You can do hard things. I know, she goes, well, I feel bad that you laughed when she said that. And I'm going, oh, okay. So I had to step back and explain to her, look, this is the thing, it's not about you. This is not me laughing at you at all. It's just that she could tell I was frustrated, and she diffused the situation by giving me a chance to laugh. Because here's the thing, I'm frustrated with this situation, not with you, but with me, because it's my job, my responsibility to help you understand this. And I know I should. I know I'm capable of it. I just don't understand how. And so I'm frustrated with myself for not being able to do this. I'm frustrated at this situation where I'm stuck. And I'm frustrated here because you're frustrated here. So you're frustrated because this is something you're supposed to do and you can't figure it out. So you're frustrated. And so it's my job to help you untangle that frustration. And I can't do that. So I'm frustrated. And then, Elijah's frustrated with this and he's getting stuck. And so I'm frustrated there because I'm supposed to be able to help him and I'm not able to do it right now. I'm not able to help his brain click back. And so that's frustrating for me. And I'm frustrated he's yelling at me. I'm not going to lie. I am frustrated when my kids yell at me. So I'm going, look, but I'm responsible for my frustrations. You're not responsible for my frustrations. As the parent, I am responsible for my own emotions and how I handle them. It's not right for me to take that out on you, but the only way I can let it out is letting it out. And I don't want to cry about it. I don't want to lash out and yell at you. That's wrong. I don't want to scream. I don't want to do anything. I'd much rather laugh. And Daniel's therapist, she saw that and she said, hey, she did something to give me a reason to laugh. And so Annika and I were able to have this conversation to kind of experience, like, look, this is normal. It's okay to be frustrated. But as the parent, I have to teach her how to just let it out. And, and it could have been so easy for her to not have the confidence to and the courage to ask and say something and say, that hurt my feelings, because she didn't understand. She could have kept that quiet and then continued to be hurt, and she could have misunderstood, and that could have crushed her and broken relationship, right? And I could have come from a position of just writing her off, saying, oh, well, it's nothing, you don't worry about it, don't take it personal. But that's not healthy either. It's important to maintain, right, that relationship so that she knows she can come to me when she doesn't understand things. Yeah, Rita, I am very glad she came up, and I'm also thankful that I know people who are teachers. So I'm going to say right now, Carrie, if ever you see this, I am so thankful, because Carrie, today, she ended up allowing us to FaceTime with her. And, Annika last night, after we talked about it, she decided, she'll pick a different verse, but she would like an outside person to just kind of brainstorm with that can see things maybe a little bit differently. And, so today we did a FaceTime with Carrie, who just kind of gave some good, insight and pointers and asked some good questions and helped Annika kind of figure out exactly what it means and how to grab things, and it kind of helped her connect things on how to look at things not so literally, and how to have a little bit more of a better understanding of outside of the box thinking with the reading as well. It was definitely a good thing. But I know it's definitely God's grace too, because, it is so fascinating, because normally, I've got anxiety. I could have easily I could have blown my fuse. I could have just, with all, because there's been a lot, right? That was a lot, just constant bombardment, just out of the blue and out of nowhere. And then I was able to maintain the peace and not escalate. And I know that's because of God. I know that's because I started my day in prayer and in the Word. And I'm just going to finish off with Isaiah 26:3. You keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. And then the 4th verse says, trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord God is an everlasting rock. And that's where it all stems from. And yes, absolutely, Rita, there's, we are family, and I am so glad that I know I have so many of you. So many of you have been able to help me and kind of help me work through things together. I've got also, I know, Patty and Felicia may at some point see this, just people from the anxiety support group on Thursday nights. Anne may end up seeing this. I know she's part of that group too. Mary, all of you guys, you hear and support me too. We work through things together, and that's what the body of Christ is about. And I know that Chris Palaha, he brings that into the Palaha Chautauqua as well. It's about kingdom living, and that's how we do it. We pray for each other, we support each other, we help meet a need when we can, So I wanted to share that. And for all you parents out there, for those who homeschool, for those who don't, for, any adult who is in relationship with a child, I encourage you to be honest with them. Say, hey, if you're going through an emotional situation, be honest with them. If they can tell that something's going on, say, hey, look, this is a situation. It's not on you. This is on me. But this is the real thing, because we need that open dialogue. We need to help each other not be holding on to hurts that's, oftentimes it's just misunderstanding, just like with Annika and I. Anyway, so I will be writing this down in a blog later, but for those who are audio visual, hopefully this is kind of just a time of encouragement. And also, it's my honest. It's not always sunshine and roses. We have frustrations too. We have, we go through things just like every other family. Sometimes the kids fight. Sometimes, it's just, we're not protected from having craziness, right? We're not protected from having hard feelings or frustrations. We get those too. Anyway, so, okay, well, I'm going to go do dishes and make my kids dinner. They're very excited. It's taco rice night, and they've been looking forward to it all week. So, thanks everyone for joining me, and I will talk to you all later.